Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the Wall Street Pub and Grill. It's Wednesday night. You know what it means. It's time for the Tiffin Dragon Football Radio Show. Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons, sit alongside head coach Cris Reisert. Coach, how we doing tonight, sir?
Doing awesome. Thanks again.
Weird night tonight. Okay, it's our final one.
Great night. Not weird night. Great night.
Different. Yeah. How about that? Different. So a different night than what we normally do here in the program. Normally we'll sit here and we'll recap last week's game. We'll get you ready for next week's game. Maybe bring a couple student athletes on, maybe an assistant coach or two. But tonight, you got 15 seniors who are going to make their last regular season appearance in the Tiffin Dragon football uniform this Saturday. And you thought, and I agreed with you, let's bring them all on this program. So we've got a lot of kids to get on the show tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's awesome. It's a tribute to these guys, and we wanted them to be a part of it. Wanted them all to have an opportunity to be in front of the camera and be on a radio show and be able to say hi to mom and dad. And so these guys have earned it. These guys are kind of the backbone of our program, and very proud of what they've accomplished and the men that they are. And so we're humbled to have them here tonight.
Well, we've talked in the past on the program about how, coming in your first year, how important it was to lean on some of these upperclassmen to help, kind of make the cohesive efforts with some of the younger guys. And, you had some coaching staff guys you kept around because they knew what was going on with the program, these young men. But it's important to have these seniors as they help take care of these young guys, get you guys ready for the season you've had this year.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I mean, everything that you're seeing, it's a credit to these guys. As coaches, we try and kind of get them in order and let them go to work. And these guys have made my job as easy as possible from the second I got here. There was never any pushback. There was never any fight back. They accepted me. They accepted our staff. And so I'll always be eternally grateful to this group of men just because of how they've helped shape my first year here. And these guys have really left a legacy, and we'll continue to do that this weekend.
Well, we normally would go through the big plays from the previous weeks, but we don't have time for that because we got a lot of young men we want to get a chance to meet. But let's just do a quick synopsis of the game last weekend. I would say you look at that game, that's probably about would you call that one a team win more than anything else?
Yeah, no doubt. I thought our defense played terrific. I thought our defense played terrific really from the first snap all the way through. There was one or two drives that we probably would want to have back, but I thought they played really good team football. You had some exemplary efforts, but mostly it was guys doing their jobs, being really consistent, got 2 turnovers, which is huge for us. Offensively, I thought we were sloppy at times, but certainly did enough to be able to generate the win. I thought obviously we got to clean up the turnovers, and they've worked really hard to be diligent and finding a way to do that. I thought the cool thing for us offensively was on a day that they really were taking away some of our pass game stuff. I thought our offensive line played terrific again. Jaquan played really hard again, and then when we were able to throw the football and they gave us some chances, you saw Stanley make a big play late in the game, which kind of was the ice, which was cool. But no, credit to what you said. I think I agree. It was a team win, and I really believe as you get deeper in it, November games, they're team wins. You don't win it on offense or on special forces or on defense. You win it as a football team, just because it's hard to win in November. And that's the cool thing about it is you have to rely on every individual, and these guys showed up.
Well, your defense did hold a very good running back, very well contained. I think he held him 76 yards. He had the same amount of carries as Jaquan did. I think Jaquan had 116 more yards than that young man did. And David Graham's a very talented kid, but your defense played a very outstanding game, I thought, on Saturday. And special teams did a good job for you, and it was a great win. November wins are the hardest wins to get, man. As the schedule gets smaller and smaller and smaller, those wins get harder and harder to get. You beat a very good football team that a lot of people thought was going to be the best team in the conference at the start of the season. They were at the top of the preseason rankings, and right now they're sitting behind your Dragons as we get into the final week of football this Saturday, a 12 noon kickoff over at Donnell Stadium against Findlay. Well, let's meet some of these young men, Coach. Why not, right?
Let's do
That's
it.
what they're here for. Who do you guys sit next to?
So right here we have A.J. Wright, senior defensive tackle, plays 3 technique for us, has had a terrific year and has had a terrific career really here at TU.
Well, AJ, thanks for being on the program, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited to be here, and it's always a great time hanging out with the guys.
So what's your hometown?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, in Cleveland, Ohio, brought you down to Tiffin University. Let's talk a little bit about your time with the Dragons. Playing on the defensive line, you play with a lot of talented guys out there. Your defense had a very stellar year so far this year. Talk about your defense as a whole and the credits that you give to some of the other guys to make sure you're successful.
I think just the work ethic we all have. We were here all summer just working, making sure that we're accountable for each other. Charlie Cleveland, he's coming off an injury from last year, and he's been stellar. He's, leading the conference in sacks, and just a guy that playing with just makes my job easier. And then when you just have him doing a well job, then everybody else kind of wants just to match that level. So really, I think we were just a brotherhood on the D-line, and it's just showing this year.
Most of the defensive guys we have on the show, Coach, they usually mention the guy, not themselves, but they mention the guy that makes their life easier. Yeah. So that's always nice. I mean, you did the same thing right there, AJ. You got defensive, your linebacking core, the secondary behind you. Everybody's been having a great year, and you got one of those linebackers sitting right next to you as well, Jacob Mertis there. So talk a little bit about those guys and how they make your job a little bit easier.
Come on, break on him a little bit. Come on, tell us how great he is.
That's what we're doing tonight.
And then when you're done, talk about Ross and Carrington too. I look forward to this.
I can talk about all these guys, and we wouldn't have enough time. In all
Why don't you
honesty.
give me one word for the four guys that are sitting to your left? For one word for each of them to describe
Commander. I mean, the guy commands the field. Ross, I mean, hardworking. That's the type of dedication you need. That's the guy you want to be just like. Conti, ball hawk, man, ball hawk. Zach, hardworking. He's come join this program from alone and just works hard, and I love it. And I mean, we got a couple more guys you'll hear from too, but like every one of the seniors are all just hard workers and great leaders, and just do a great job of leading their position group to just achieve what we have done so far.
It's a brotherhood, right? It's a brotherhood, isn't it? Brotherhood all the time. All right, well, we're going to pass that microphone to our next man. Jacob, how are you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. We've been on the program before. We've went through all the pleasantries of where you're from and stuff, but you can go ahead and quickly recap that. Where you're from?
Akron, Ohio.
Akron, Ohio.
I live in Talmadge. But,
You live from Talmadge. All right, what are you studying here?
I'm getting my MSCJ in criminal behavior.
Okay, well, you're a linebacker. Let's talk a little bit about the rest of the guys in your linebacker core. We're bragging on our teammates tonight, so talk about the rest of the guys in your room.
I mean, it's kind of to piggyback on what AJ said, playing with these guys, they're all really good, and it makes my job super easy. Everybody's super reliable, and it's just a great time. I mean, Zach Goki, obviously, we got a lot of chemistry. We played together since the spring, and
Right.
It's just been good. It's been real good.
Well, you're coming up to your last regular season game here with your fellow teammates, your fellow defenders, and what are you looking forward to the most come this Saturday?
Just capitalizing on an opportunity. I know we're all hungry to get what we had last year back, and here it is. And we just got to take advantage. Good team win and get after it, just like we always do.
How hard is it for you guys to believe this is your last regular season game in the green and gold?
It's wild. It's wild, almost surreal. It kind of hasn't set in.
Did it go by pretty fast?
Very.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
All right, give us a word for each one of these guys sitting here beside you.
AJ, just kind of the dad of the group, Ross is just reliable. You always count on Ross being in the right place, never drop a coverage. Conti, I would say Conti is the commander. He's the old head of the group. Zach, definitely hardworking. I know he's a transfer. I haven't got to really know him, but I know he's never complained, always done his job. He's been a really good player for us. So.
How nice is it to have those transfers come in and be able to just slide right into the team and just keep on working, keep on moving?
It's awesome. It's great. Yeah.
Same way with the young kids as well. You guys are going to take some of these young kids under your wings and help get them ready for the days that you guys are gone, and they'll get to carry on the legacy that Coach said. You guys have really been a big part, big building blocks of what's going on here at Tiffin University.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Ross, your turn. Pass the mic. How you doing, Ross? Ross Moore?
Good.
All right, tell us again where you're from, what you're studying, all that fun stuff.
From Lake Orion, Michigan. I'm studying business marketing, planning on graduating in this semester.
Is your father going to pass the torch to somebody, be the unofficial official photographer for the Dragons when you're gone?
Right now we have a soccer player, Danny. Yep, she's taking pictures. She's doing a nice job.
She does a lot of stuff with our sports information department. She's awesome. She does a very good job. All right, so talk a little bit about the guys in your group that you work with day in and day out in the practice field and get to go bang heads with on the football field.
Oh yeah, day in and day out. I work with all these guys: AJ, Mertis, Conti. Some guys who aren't here, but D-line, they rush, we cover. Linebackers, they fill those gaps, and we just have a ball out there on the field. It's that simple.
Well, what is it? What's your favorite thing? Having a ball out there on the field. What is it? What drives you the most being out there on the field?
What drives me the most is just looking over, seeing my brothers out there, and we all have each other's backs. And even if you make a mistake, we're making the mistake at full speed and getting it corrected and getting right back on track.
Well, one word for each one of these gentlemen sitting up here with you.
One word: AJ, beast. Mertis, leader. Conti, hard hitter. And then Zach, I like how he just he's a transfer, like we said, and he just came in here and just, you would have thought he came in with me. He just picked up right where he got here. So yeah.
Well, that speaks a lot about the team, right? That the guys are able to just slide right in here. You guys, being accepting, and it's kind of, I guess, speaks on the culture of the program.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
All right, pass the mic. State your name, sir.
Carrington County,
Where are you from again? You're from.
Annapolis, Maryland.
Yep. And what do you study here at Tiffany University?
Law enforcement.
All right, you're in the secondary back there. We talked to you and been on the program before, and let's talk a little bit about your group of guys you get to work with every day.
Yeah, we're a pretty broad group of guys, characters, all of them, even Zach.
Right, right. We'll talk about some of the guys in the secondary that you play with. You got some playmakers back there, some ball hawks, some guys who are really, you're one of your strengths from the broadcast booth is filling the run. When you're back there in the secondary, you come up and you put a stop to the run as good as anybody in the defensive backfield I've seen this year. Talk a little bit about some of the other guys back there and some of their strengths are.
We have Christian Watkins. He's a pretty hard hitter too, and Patrick Tweme. He makes plays and he hits as well.
Didn't those two combine on a pretty big play this year earlier?
They had a
Yes, they
touchdown.
did.
Yeah, just ask them about it. They'll tell you.
I'm sure they will.
Touchdown.
Right.
Justice Waller, and even with our cornerbacks, they're all eager and ready to learn and play, and this is great.
All right, one word to describe each one of these gentlemen from you, please.
AJ, he's a hard worker,
Come on, I need something more
Yeah,
than
you guys are
hardworking, leading, and
does the-
commanding.
he does the
Come on,
coach- he does
give
the
me
coach
something
speak.
good. Give me something good.
Like 10 words I can give AJ,
Give us the ninth word.
Right.
He holds himself accountable, and
There you go.
it allows him to hold others accountable.
All
And
right.
It's very good to have that.
All right, who else?
Murtis, he calls me the commander, I call him the commander, I think we all kind of look up to Murtis in some sort of way,
Right.
He's a great leader.
Right?
And Ross, believe it or not, Ross is the hustle man, he can do it all, always can I count on Ross. And Zach is the new face, but he plugs in and does everything well, and he works even on game over on Sundays. You can catch him in the weight room, so guys that just come in and work, love it.
Right. All right.
And I'll brag on Zach too, because we got defensive guys
Yes.
here, right? So the cool thing about Zach is that he's played every spot on our offensive line with the exception of center. And this is a guy that's came in, and his first practice with us was in fall camp, and he's been wise enough and athletic enough and a quick enough learner to be able to do that. And you've seen Zach's game grow from what it was in week one, where he was kind of splitting time, kind of splitting reps, and now he's a guy that's really indispensable for us. I mean, he's a guy that has played terrific football these last few weeks, and so we're excited for him and his ascension. He really is starting to kind of figure it out, and that's cool to see.
All right, Carrington, pass the mic. Go give us your full name, where you're from, what you're studying here to you.
Zach Hill from Detroit, Michigan. I'm studying communications and public relations, the field and communications I'm going to.
So when you were looking for a new place to play football, what was it about Tiffany University that brought you here?
To be honest, it was part of the indoor field and Coach Reisert. When I talked to him, he was probably my favorite coach I talked to, like getting recruited. I just liked the connection he had, and he seemed like a real genuine guy.
Well, you got to be a pretty smart guy in the offensive line to be able to pick up all 5 positions out there. I mean, it's a thinking man's game. The center is what people say sometimes one of the smartest guys on the football field. But is that one of your strengths, you think, the ability to pick up the different schemes and everything from the different positions and be able to fill in those spots where your team needs you, just to make sure you got the best 5 out there on the field?
Yes, sir. Part of it is really Trent, though, because Trent, makes a lot of calls, and I know the call, so I go based off him. And when I switch positions, I played tackle my whole life. I never played guard until I got here. So I just use my natural instincts at tackle. And then in the guard, I'm built to play guard, so guard was just naturally not hard for me to learn.
Trent being our center.
Yes.
Trent being our center. And the cool thing, I think, is as you listen to all 5 of these guys, right? One of the common themes amongst a lot of them has been communication. And so I think it's neat that he mentioned communication, allowed him to do his job. Carrington and Jacob mentioned communication in terms of getting the right calls and getting guys on the same page. And so I think that's a really cool thing about this group is they all do a great job of helping one another and understand that they're just a piece of a big cog, right? A big
Right.
machine. So I think it's neat.
How long did it take you to feel comfortable here, Zach, once you stepped on campus?
I'm a pretty open person, so like I felt comfortable like really the first day. Everybody here was cool, had no problems. They all welcomed me like I was been here for 4 years. So
Well, this might be a little more tricky for you to give us a word to describe. I forgot to have you guys, there's one person you guys forgot to give a word to describe. And
We don't need that.
We don't need that one. All right, Zach, go ahead and try to give us a word for each one of these young men.
all right, mine's gonna be different because it's an offensive
Right,
perspective. So first with AJ, I go against one-on-ones with him like mostly every day. I would say he is focused, like he hardly like misses his assignment. If he's got to be in a certain gap, he's in it all the time. Meredith, I think he's just wise, and it comes with being a senior, because like he knows keys. Like I'll be in my stance, he'll call the play out, because based off like how my stance is or something like that.
All right.
And I would call Ross a ball hawk. No, not ball hawk. You more of a baller. Michigan guy. Conti's the ball hawk, I would see. He always plays the ball in the air or makes the big hit. One of the two. But all these guys are good, though, coming from an offensive guy, going against him.
Who's the hardest guy on the defensive line to go up against in practice? You can say AJ because he's sitting here, but is there anybody else?
No, honestly, it's between him and Charlie. But I would say him because I play guard most of the time. So I go
Right,
against
so you got him on the inside.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, Coach, that's our first group of 5 seniors we brought up here today. We go bring some more up.
I sure hope they get better. I'm kidding. These guys are awesome. No, this is a great first group to get started with, man. I love these guys. So
All right, let's get
we're
the
excited
next-
to get some more guys up here, though.
Let's get the next 5 guys up here to work on the TU Dragon Football radio show. Don't forget the game will be this Saturday at 12 noon. You can catch the radio call on WTUD, TUDragonRadio.com, as well as at Coast Country FM 100.9 on your radio dial. And let's go ahead and get started, Coach. We got 4 more coming up this time. So let's go ahead and get started. Tell us who we got coming up here.
No doubt. So we have Warsami Aiden here, offensive lineman, plays right tackle for us. Has been a starter at every game this season. We've got Reed Martin, one of our tight ends, done a terrific job. Plays a lot in our true tight end type situation. Has done some good stuff. Played some good football here. There's Stanley Jackson we had on the show. Guess it was. Probably week 1 or week 2.
It was
right?
early. It was early.
And it's had a terrific year. He's leading the GMAC in receiving and has done some awesome stuff. And then Mike Sable, one of our senior defensive ends, has been able to kind of play a unique role in the sense that he's played some 3 technique for us. He's played some defensive end for us. Has battled some injuries, but is a really reliable guy for us among the defensive front.
All right, well, let's start right here. Warsami, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. Welcome to the program. So tell us where you're from and what you're studying here.
I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
What are you studying here?
I am studying accounting, and I'm a 5th-year senior.
All right, studying accounting. You a money guy or just a math guy?
I'm a math guy.
You're a math guy. That's pretty awesome. Math guys are usually pretty smart, and we talked about smart guys in the offensive line, Coach, and it sounds like you got another one right here in Warsami.
There's no doubt. No, Warsami's done a great job. He really has. He's come on this year in a big way. He's a worker. He's a guy that he's also a great communicator, but he's a worker and a guy that really is kind of I think embraced the role that he's been given. And the cool thing about Warsami is you started to kind of see him come out of his shell a little bit too as the season's gone on. He's got more comfortable and he's got more confident. So proud of what he's done this year for sure.
We got a talented group of skill position players playing behind you. They're working on the offensive line. Talk about your offensive line together as a unit because Jaquan isn't getting the yardage he's getting if you guys aren't doing your job. Nick's not being able to find guys like Stanley if you guys aren't doing your job. So go ahead and talk about that offensive line and how they've been working together over the year, because you guys had a pretty nice year.
As a unit, this is the best unit I've been on. From a personal standpoint, like we're a very tight unit, and our coach, he's very understanding of like who needs to be coached a certain way. So it's going great.
Now, have you always been a tackle? Have you played any of the other offensive line positions?
Always played tackle.
Always played tackle. You're a pretty tall guy. How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6". I'm gonna say I don't have to look eye to eye to very many people, but he's taller than I am. So you playing the offensive line here for the TU Dragons. We had AJ on just a little bit ago. He was talking. We were talking about some of the tough guys on the practice squad to go against. Talk about some of the guys that you got to go against on a daily that make you a better football player.
I have to go against Cameron Fox, and I have to go against Charlie Cleveland. And those guys, they bring it, you know. And the scout team, too. You can't leave out the scout team. They're
Right.
the ones that do most of the work. They bring it.
And, coach, the scout team are the guys that don't get the glory like the guys who are out there on the field every single Saturday. But without those scout team guys and the amount of time they put in, you guys can't get the work done that you need to do to be ready for Saturdays.
Yeah, no doubt. No, we look at scout team in a couple different ways. One, it's obviously for us the developmental group where they do get a chance to really kind of be put in situations where they are working on their craft, they are getting better fundamentally, they are getting more schematic work, and it's not game-like reps, but it's as close as it can be because you're going against really talented guys, right? Imagine being a scout team DB and having to cover Stanley, or being a scout team defensive end and having to rush Warsami, and that gets you better, and you have to have that mentality. And then I think the other side of it is it helps us be better on Saturday afternoon. I really believe that the stronger your second and third group are, right, that's really what builds championship football teams. And so our job is to really iron sharpens iron, right? And so we've got to, through recruiting, be able to build the depth of the roster to where there's no drop-off.
Well, Simon, what's your plans when you're done with school?
Find a job.
Find a job. All right, give us a word about each of these three young men sitting beside you. Give us one word to describe them on the football field.
Reed. He has great character. He's a man of great character. Stanley, he's from Columbus, so, he's a great guy. Sable, this guy, he's a great athlete, and he's very smart, cool guy.
All right, go ahead and pass the mic to Reed. Reed, welcome to the program, man.
Thanks for having me.
Go ahead and give your name, where you're from, what you're studying, all that fun stuff.
My name is Reed Martin. I'm from Rockford, Michigan. I already graduated with a marketing major, and now I'm getting my master's right now in leadership and change.
Do we have the biggest tight end group, like size-wise of tight ends, of anybody around? I mean, we got some big guys play tight end for us here at Tiffany University.
If we don't, I'm sure we're close.
We're darn close. Talk about that tight end position. What is it about it that you like? Because it's there's some glory, but there's some you're basically an offensive lineman at times as well. Talk about the position.
Yeah, I mean, I've always played tight end my whole life, so I've just kind of accustomed to what I have to do every day, and I just love it. I love being a part of the run game and the pass game, like just being able to hang out the old linemen, but also with the receivers and running backs. Like I feel like I'm basically part of like the whole offensive, or like one piece by myself, or with the tight ends. And I mean, every day us tight ends, me, Darnell, and Spencer, we have a great time together and stuff like that. We always bring our A game, and we just bring the juice every day.
Well, Blake Darnell was on the program last time or a couple times before, and he's quite a character, to say the least. Are you on that same level as Blake?
It's hard to keep up with him.
I imagine
he
so.
He can get pretty crazy, and like he also though, like I can feed off of him though. Whenever he gets excited, it brings me excited, and I try to feed that off to the rest of the offense. So I guess I feel like as us tight ends, it's kind of what it seems like. We try to bring the enthusiasm every day to practice and stuff like that, and hopefully it works out well, with the rest of the group.
Well, you're a part of a skill position set here at Tiffany University that's loaded with athletes, and you get to work with these guys each and every day. I'm sure it's something you're very proud of, to be in that group of all these young men who are very, very productive football players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Spencer, he just came in the spring, and he just been shining a lot. He's been doing really well on the pass game and the run game, and he's just like a really bright guy in everything he does. He knows the offense pretty well. And Darnell, he's just the hard-hitting guy that just all he wants to do is just put his head into somebody's face and just knock.
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun being able to hang out with those guys and learn some things from those guys too, for sure.
All right, give us the one word to describe your teammate sitting here beside us.
Wasami, I've been around with this guy for about 5 years, and he's probably one of the hardest working guys I've seen. Like he does this +1s when no one else is watching. I'll look out when practice is over. He's working on some sets or pass protection, that sort of thing. So I always got to give him credit for that, for just working his hardest. Stanley, I mean, that guy's a dog. Like I've seen this guy, I didn't really know that much about him coming in, but then right off the bat, first few games, the guy was already just dominating every single game he has, and he hasn't stopped. And my man Mike right here, we've been best friends probably for a while, for about 5 years here at Tiffin.
Awesome.
So yeah, we know each other pretty well, and then, I mean, he pushes me, so he's a great motivator, great friend, someone who's been able to push me the past 5 years to just get as best as I can.
Did you guys meet here on campus?
Yeah, we did.
Well, that's awesome. That's the beauty of college, meeting some of your best friends ever, but also being a part of the football team, those lifelong connections that are made, and you called him your best friend. That's pretty sweet.
For sure, yeah.
All right, Stanley, your turn. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we know you were transferred in this year. It's your first year with the Tiffany University Dragons, wide receiver. Talk about your first time walking on campus and getting to meet the guys, and how long it took you to feel comfortable with everybody.
Right. First time on campus, I had, like I said, a warm welcome. The guys really embraced me and really made me feel at home, so I really appreciate that. And familiar faces like Joe Horn really made me feel comfortable with coming back and really just kind of getting comfortable and doing what I do on the field.
I'm sure Joe was one of the guys that was probably one of the reasons you came to Tiffany University. We were looking for a new place to play. What else was it about TU that you were that drew you here?
I had a few people that went here previously. Charles Holland last year, he just graduated, and a couple guys, Cam White, Keani Harris, way back when. But and this is a familiar place. I've been here about a couple of times. Going to Ashland, and I mean, I just loved it. And it's not too far from home, so family can support me and everything. And
well, we talk a lot about with you young men about the group that you work with, and as a wide receiver, Devin Butler's really made some huge strides in the second half of the season for the squad, and you have a group there that's very, very talented. Different guys can be leaned on at different times. Talk about your group as a whole and the talent that they possess.
The whole group is a funny group, and all hard workers. We all bring something to the game, always bring something to the field that we could contribute to the team. We got some speed guys, some skill guys, some physical guys that kind of could teach us different techniques and ways to just get open, just to maneuver around the defenses that we play.
Well, Carrington was over there now. He was over here. He's not on the program now. So if there's one of those guys that you eat up in practice all the time and you want to go ahead and talk about it right now, go ahead.
No, we compete. They have their wins, we have our losses, and vice versa. So we definitely compete and definitely prepare us for Saturdays.
Now, you're planning on going overseas after school? Is that what it is?
Yes, it'll be studying fashion and just kind of do a abroad tour and just kind of
see the world.
Yeah, see the world, travel, get exposed to a lot of things. So.
All right, give us a word to describe each one of your teammates sitting up here with it.
Ursami, he's a funny guy, but also a humble beast. Being a lineman isn't easy when you're not getting his recognition and scoring touchdowns and everything. So really appreciate that. And he's a humble beast, he's an animal. Reed, he's a character and a motivator. Well, I think he had a catch probably in training camp. And I told him, we jokingly said it, but I told him, like, yeah, that motivates me. I'm trying to get a better catch than that. But he remembers and everything. But and also Mike, just a hard worker. He's tough. It's not easy being in the trenches, going against O-linemen like Ursami and everything. So really appreciate that.
All right, Mike, your turn. How you doing? Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, what you're studying.
I'm doing pretty good. Mike Sable. I am from Middleburg Heights, Ohio. It's right outside of Cleveland. I graduated with a marketing degree in the minor in sport management, and right now I am doing leadership and change master's classes.
Well, it feels like your name feels like you've been around here for a little while. I've seen your name in the in the roster for quite a few years now. And talk a little bit about what it means to you to be a part of this football team and how much it's grown over the last couple of years since you've been here.
It's amazing how much it's grown. We came in, we were a 500 team, and we had some spectacular players. We saw Antonio Pipkin play, which was great, amazing to play. And then last year after the loss kind of stung a little bit, and then when these new coaches came in, it lit a fire, a resurgence of the program. Like we can really do this. We can really win the GMAC and create a dynasty with these coaches.
So is that what you're planning? Is that when you look back at your time at Tiffany University, the one thing that you're hoping is that you were part of something that was able to build something that's just become even bigger than the time you were here?
Yeah, exactly. We came in with, I think it was me, Murtis, C, Darnell, Reed, and Ursami, and Ross. We all came in here as true freshmen. We've been here since the ages. We're all fifth years, and to see the culture change, and I think we're a big part of that.
Oh, I agree with that as well.
I'm excited for future years for these guys.
Isn't it great, Coach, to not only have good football players, but have good young men? I mean, that's character's as big as anything when it comes to fielding a group of guys that you can go out there and put out there as, those are my guys, this is my team, and character's as big a part as the athletic ability they must possess as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I say it all the time, but it's so much more fun for me to come to work. When you're around guys that you love and that you like spending time with, and it's true, and you wanna have guys that you like and that you really, they're guys that you want around your kids and around your family, and so that's what makes this team so unique for me, is the sense that I really enjoy spending time with all of them, and so I think that's one of the cool things about as we build this thing. You build it with guys like the guys that are sitting up here, like the guys that are sitting in this room, and if we do that, then I know I'm going to like my job, and I know we're going to win a lot of football games, and we're going to do it the right way.
What is your favorite thing, Mike, about playing in the trenches on the defensive side of the football?
What I really like, obviously getting the sack, but what I really love is that our group is so close. Coach B brought a phase called mudita, and it's general enjoyment for other person's successes. And like when I make a play, I see Charlie, AJ, Marv, Cam, Melfi, all them, they're happy for me, and it makes me so much happier when they make a play too. That's what really I enjoy.
That's fantastic. I love that. That's awesome.
Very cool.
All right, give us a word to describe each one of your teammates sitting up here, please.
Rasami, it has to be Hart. The guy is always doing extra sets in the weight room. He's always doing ones, and when he was younger, he was thrown in the fire with injuries, and he's been just growing ever since. Reed is a grinder. The kid does more than anyone in the weight room I've ever seen, and he goes hard on the field all the time. Stanley, I'm thankful to have someone of his caliber be able to come into this program. It's amazing what he's been able to do in just this year. It's amazing.
Wow. Well, you guys are all great student athletes here at Tiffany University. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We have one more group to bring up here, so thank you guys. We'll bring up our next group of Dragons. All right, you got 4 more sitting beside you, Coach, and we'll recognize that face sitting right next to you.
So we had Blake Darnell, right? We had Blake Darnell. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago? Right, recently.
Yes.
Recently, Spencer Moyer, tight end from California, right? It's something unique about him, and Spence has done a great job. Spence actually came in as a quarterback, and we ended up moving to tight end this spring. And his improvement from when he started playing tight end to where he's at now is amazing. It's credit to his work ethic. So really proud of him. Marcus Whitfield is a receiver. Amongst other things, he's done an awesome job on special forces. He's done a tremendous job as a wide receiver. You've really seen him blossom this year. I think he's a leader too. And the cool thing that I love about Marcus is that he loves ball. Like, he loves football. He enjoys it. He likes the work. He likes being around it. He's passionate about it. And it rubs off on me. I have more fun at practice when I'm around him because he's enjoying it,
That's awesome.
And then Zach Goki is a linebacker for us. Has done a tremendous job. We had him on a few weeks ago too, and has done some really good things on special forces too. He's actually our backup long snapper, which is one of those things that kind of gets lost in the sauce, but it's actually a big deal. It's a really big deal. And so I'm thankful he's here to play middle linebacker for us, but I'm also thankful that he can do a lot of different things, and amongst being a really hard worker and a great leader for us.
All right, Blake, last time I talked to you, you mentioned the fishing. You do any ice fishing when it's like this?
No, it's later in the year I will be, but it's not thick enough yet. So
Tell him he went hunting the other day. Ask him if he got anything.
Did you get anything when you went hunting, Blake?
No, he did not. I can answer that for him. He did not. He did not get it.
The wind was wrong.
The wind was wrong. It wasn't a shot.
No, I never even saw a deer.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right, so remind everybody where you're from, what you study, and all that fun stuff.
Blake Darnell. I'm from New Lexington, Ohio. I graduated in May with a bachelor's degree in Homeland Security Counterterrorism, and I'm now pursuing my master's in criminal behavior.
Now, we mentioned earlier how big you guys are in the tight end room. We have the biggest group of tight ends I've seen in a while, and you're one of those guys. Talk about the work that all you guys put in together to make sure you guys are the best you can be when you're out in the football field.
We do a lot of different stuff, just to work on all phases of our game. Coach Spencer has a big part of that. I feel like ever since they came in, this whole coaching staff, we've got a lot more educated on just the game itself, different aspects of the defense too. It's just we do a lot of different stuff together.
Do you think that's what Coach Spencer brought to the table? Was just some more of the educating part of the game to you?
The whole staff has. I feel like I understand the game of football more now, the X's and O's of it, on both sides of the ball from this new coaching staff.
Well, your name was mentioned earlier, and they say you're the first one to put your face mask into somebody. So is that contact the thing that you like the most about the game of football?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
But you like catching the football too, right?
I do, but I like hitting people better, more.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's good to have that defensive player mentality sometime when a guy working as part of the offensive line sometimes, or at that tight end position, a guy who's not afraid of the contact, a guy who's going to seek out the contact as well.
Yeah, no doubt. He actually came in as a defensive lineman, and so had a little bit of that mentality, and you've seen it kind of carry over. And he is. He says, he likes to block people more than he does, and that's true. That's not like a radio thing.
Right.
That's a true statement. So he really is an extension, along with our other tight ends, of our offensive line, and they've played a huge role in our success as a whole, because their versatility allows us to do things in the pass game with them,
Right.
allows us to do things in the run game with them. And if you don't have guys with the skill set or with the knowledge base, then it makes it hard offensively to be able to have guys that can do both.
Right. All right, Blake, talk about your teammates sitting up here. Give us a word to describe each one of these young men.
Spencer is a very intelligent football player and person. Like you said, he played quarterback, so he knows more about the game than I do. Marcus is hilarious, but he's very reliable on the field. I feel like he's not a huge vocal leader, but he leads by example. And Goki, I would say he's a grinder for sure. He's always working hard, weight room, and on the field. So, yeah, it's a bunch of hard workers.
What are you going to miss the most about the game when you're done playing it?
The friendships.
Yeah.
That's the normal answer.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and pass the mic. Spencer, your turn. Go ahead and give your name, where you're from, all that fun stuff.
All right, I'm Spencer Moyer. I'm from San Diego, California. Moved out to Tiffin like a year and a half ago last summer with the team for football, obviously.
What was the conversation like when you found out you were moving from the quarterback position to the tight end position?
It wasn't too hard. I mean, I was second string quarterback, so I wasn't really stepping on the field. So I was kind of excited to get the opportunity to actually play and contribute more to the team. So I was happy for that. I knew it was going to be a tough transition, but it was a fun one at the same time.
Well, as a quarterback, you need to know basically everybody else's position on the field. So I'm sure that made the transition, as far as knowing the plays, is concerned a little bit easier for you going to that tight end spot.
Yeah. As a quarterback, I always understood coverages and defensive schemes like that. So that definitely helped. I mean, learning blocking schemes was different. Actually being a part of them was definitely a lot more difficult than just looking at them on paper. So, I mean, it's been fun, though, learning the contact of the game and the different aspect of football.
Well, having these two tight ends to lean on, too, when you went into that room had to help you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, two guys that have been here for 5 years now. They've been here for a while, so they understand how to play the game at this level. That definitely helped me. And then with the coaching staff they brought in, they just taught me a lot and got my technique right for the season.
How did you get to Tiffin from California? And I don't mean by like airplane. I mean, what was your path that got you here?
Well, I was playing at a junior college back home in San Diego, and one of the coaches last year found me as a quarterback, the quarterback coach, Coach Ely, and then he ended up recruiting me out. I came and visited, and then I committed about, I think, 2 weeks later.
Well, it's the only season you've been with the Dragons. Is there a fond moment that sticks out in your head from this season so far?
From this season, I'm not sure. I think just camp, just in general, because that's when I really started understanding tight end more, and then that's when I really started actually doing well, because in the spring I wasn't doing too hot at the position. I came in at fourth string, so I actually worked my way up to be able to play, so that was really fun.
How many kids, when you ask them their favorite thing about a season, they say camp?
That's awesome. No, but it shows because, and he's right. You know, when he came, he went home for the summer, right? And so we didn't know really what to expect of Spencer when he got back, and he showed up on campus. And the first day of camp, he was a different cat, you know. And he came back with a purpose. You could tell he was working his tail off. You could tell that he's kind of figured some stuff out. And credit to him, like, you get moved your senior year, you get moved from quarterback to tight end, right? And it could go two ways, right? You could go, yeah, sure, I'll move, and I'll bide my time, and I'll not really going to buy into it, right? But I'm just going to kind of do enough to get by, and or the other way is you really go all in and you do it.
Right.
And he did that, man, and that's the hard path, right?
Right.
And he did that, and he has become a really reliable guy at that spot. And so I'm so proud of Spencer, because it hasn't been as easy for him to do that as some of these other guys. I'm so proud of what he's done. So I think it's a really cool thing that he's been able to accomplish his senior year.
Awesome. Go ahead and give us a word about each one of these young men, if you would, please.
Darnell is very unique. He's probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. He's a very hard worker, too. Marcus is very, very reliable, sure-handed guy. Doesn't really drop balls ever. And then, you see him blocking downfield all the time, too. You love that out of receivers. And then Goki, he's kind of an unsung hero on the defense. He's always making plays when they come to him. I mean, he doesn't always have his name called out, but he's always making the plays when he needs to.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead and pass the mic down. Marcus, welcome to the program.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Go ahead and tell the camera, where you're from, give your name, all that fun stuff.
All right, I'm Marcus Whitfield, and I'm from Massillon, Ohio. And I graduated from Toledo
in 2017 with a bachelor's in marketing, and then I joined Tiffin's football team last year, and here we are.
So you went from UT to TU.
Yes, sir.
All right. What was it that made you come to Tiffin when you were just up there at Toledo? I mean, it's pretty quick, not too far away.
Yeah, no, just an hour, and you know, I had graduated. We won a championship, the MAC championship that year, and I was playing defense up there, and something was telling me like I think I wanted to leave and play offense. And Phil Ely, when he was the quarterbacks coach here last year, I got in touch with him, and he said, "Hey, I think you have a spot here." And so I came, and third day of camp, ended up tearing my ACL and had to be out all year. So a little setback.
So this season's been probably incredibly enjoyable for you.
Yeah, just being able to like come back and play offense, just to be able to have the ball back in my hands is.
And you've had some big games this year. You've made some real big plays for the Dragons on the offensive side of the football as well.
Yes, sir.
You got a very talented group you're a part of too, the wide receiving corps.
Yeah, no, I love all of those guys. You know, coming in, I haven't played offense before this year. I haven't played offense since high school. So, you know, I didn't forget how to catch the ball, but, you know, like my first route was probably god-awful. And so, you know, just every day when we go to work, or when we're outside, or when we're practicing, or we're just getting extra work, I just learn things from those guys. Like, I'm always learning from Stan and Devin and Gavin, Blaine, all of those guys, just little things, like maybe a better route, maybe better blocking, using the coaches to help me, just all those things.
Do you think your previous experience as a defensive back helps you out as a wide receiver, knowing some of the tendencies of the guys that are across the line from you?
Yeah, definitely. Like just lining up against, like I line up against Ross and Conti, and you know, just seeing how they're playing, like it's like I almost know what they're doing, and it translates even when we're playing against other teams.
Right.
I can just look at the defense and almost tell like exactly what they're doing, or just looking at one player and just knowing exactly what he's going to do, just from playing those positions in the past.
I'm sure you've seen that before, Coach. I'm sure in your previous playing time and coaching time, those guys who play a position will switch to the other side of the ball, and it's a position where they go against each other. And it probably helps make that transition a lot smoother. And like you said, be able to tell what's happening on the other side of the field, and only going to make his game better.
Yeah, no doubt. No, Mark is a football player. You know, I think I think some of that gets lost sometimes when you have an ability to do a lot of different things. You know, I mentioned earlier special teams, right, which we call special forces, and the reason he's been so productive on that is he knows how to play defense and offense, so he can tackle, right? He understands fits. He understands how to take on certain blocks, and then on the offensive special forces, he understands that too. And so guys like him are worth their weight in gold. You know, they are because he's got so much versatility where he can help us in any position at any moment.
I love special teams.
You love special teams.
I love special teams.
What is it about special teams that you love?
I think it's just because not a lot of people. I think before college, or once I got to college, I've understood like how important special teams was, and even like, you know, even going into some programs, some people really don't take it that serious.
Right.
So just really stepping up and really like loving it, and being able to get the other guys around you to love it with you too, and just to show them how important it really is. I think that helps. I think that's just where the love for special teams comes. It's almost like just being a leader on special teams. You don't have that a lot.
Sometimes it takes some guys got to have a little something extra in them to be able to make those big plays on special teams. You can be a game changer making big plays on special teams. Like I said, not everybody wants to play special teams, but the guys who really want to get out there and make the plays, they got a little something extra in them, I think, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, and I tell the young guys all the time, like, you know, when they're always talking about like, oh, I'm not getting any reps on offense or defense, I tell them all the time, it starts with special teams.
Yeah.
And even if they're not playing, even if they're not traveling, playing special teams, I'm telling them it starts with scout team. Like, I've got my first special teams role blocking a punt on scout team. And from there, like, I've always been a starter on special teams. So I just always share that story with the young guys, telling them, like, look, go block a punt or go make a tackle. The coaches, they always see it. Like,
that's
the coaches
what it is.
See everything.
That is exactly what it is. They do see everything, good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad.
All right, give us a word to describe your teammates sitting up here with you.
Okay, Darney, wild man, but not just like wild in a bad way. Like we out on the field, he always has energy. In the weight room, always has energy. He hangs out at our house. His energy you will always find energy out of him, and he's
He's a comedy guy. What's that word?
Comedian?
Comedian. No, he truly is. And honestly, like, I look forward to going in. And if I don't have energy and he does, like, it switches so quick.
Yeah.
And I end up having energy. And next thing you know, the whole room has energy.
Right.
Spencer, dependable. And one thing about Spencer, I'm just going to say he's a great friend. Because honestly, him and AJ and Dejan Isbell, when he was here last year, those are my first friends. I pulled up to Tiffin with this huge U-Haul truck full of crap. And those 3 guys were there to help me move it all. So ever since that day.
So you were welcomed with open arms the second you got on campus?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And so,
awesome.
like, you know, that, like, first week or month or whatever, I always, like, we're looking to them to, like, talk to them. And then Ross was my roommate, too. Ross and Charlie and Rashawn Edwards. We
Nice.
all got to hang out. But, yeah, I look at Spence. He's one of my greatest friends here.
All right.
And then Goki, passionate, very passionate about, and a beast, just at everything he does, whether it's on the football field, you just can tell he loves it. In the weight room, he loves it. Passionate about his schoolwork. And even before we came here, we played FIFA, and he beat me, and he was just real passionate about it. He's a passionate worker.
So you'll get him back, though?
Yeah, I'll get it back.
Okay.
Eventually.
All right.
I'm like 0-3 against him now.
That means you're due, right? All right, go ahead and pass the mic. Your turn. Introduce yourself, hometown, all the...
I'm Zach Goki. I'm from Spencerville, Ohio. Smallest town maybe in Ohio. I study exercise science. And then...
Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, I was just here a little bit ago, and now we're back.
Well, part of the linebacking core of the Tiffin University Dragons, and you've been here for a little while now, and you got a great group there. Talk a little bit about your defense, how excited you guys are to get back on the football field this Saturday.
Yeah, it's been about a whole year until we stepped on the same field as Finley's offense, and I think we're ready to get our revenge.
Well, it's a big game this Saturday. You guys put in a lot of hard work this week, and you're part of that linebacking group. Talk about that group itself as a group.
The linebacking group, good group of guys. They're all pretty quiet guys, honestly. And we're mainly led by Jacob Murtis himself over there, the commander. Yeah, he leads everybody. He's like the ideal person that you look up to. Doesn't mean if it's in our linebacking group or the defensive group as a whole, or even our team. He's always doing the right thing all the time, and you can't be more thankful to have a guy like that.
Well, you guys come in together?
No, he's 1 year ahead of me.
He's 1 year ahead of you?
Yep.
Well, the linebacking core, we mentioned that. We talked to some of the defensive linemen. We talked to some of the secondary guys. Just talk about the Tiffin University team. You're the last one, so you get these kind of questions. This whole Tiffin University team and this season under first-year coach Cris Reisert here, and just talk about how the team has just come together and put on a really nice run to be where we're at right now.
The coaching staff, when they came in, it was something that I didn't expect. It was kind of unexpected that it just worked so well from the get-go. Like right away, you knew things were about to click, and like from game 1 till game 10, I think we really just have the same mentality. It never really changes. It's always mission, ATB, CBW, win the turnover margin. No matter what it is, I think the coaching staff's doing a terrific job.
And that probably only makes you guys want to work harder in the summertime, be ready for camp, work hard in camp. After you say you got to meet everybody in the spring and got to go through spring ball, and you said everything just clicked when they got here. But did that make you guys all want to put in that extra work as you guys got ready for this season because you knew you guys could do something special?
These guys up here with me and the guys here, they put in tremendous amounts of work. I mean, going back to the linebacker group, they put in so much work that makes me want to work harder. Seeing our defense line works their tails off all the time, day in and day out, in the weight room, wherever, putting in extra work on a Sunday. But they work so hard, and then seeing our offense be so successful in our offense under Coach Reisert, it just motivates you to work harder and be better at your position, what you do.
I'm sure you saw that offensive prappractice, and you knew to yourself, these guys got a chance to put up a lot of points this year.
Yeah. Definitely during camp when they'd break a screen pass or something, I was like, yep. The offense is pretty good.
Yeah, the offense is pretty good.
They know what they're doing, yeah.
All right, give us a word to describe each of your teammates up here. I know you guys are probably hungry for some of them chicken wings that are sitting over there.
Darnell's, he's a jokester, and he's very loud. And he's a singer, too.
He's a singer?
If he does have a nice voice.
If he wants to sing right now.
No?
I'd say Spence, dependable, and I'm going to say adaptive, going from that quarterback position,
Right.
then going to that tight end. Like last spring, he said he wasn't that good, and like he's truthful with that, and which means a lot about a person. But like coming into camp and him actually like coming up and hitting me, I was like, what's going on right now? This is not the Spencer I once knew. But no, yeah, he's come a long way, and he's doing an awesome job. And this guy to the right of me, he's the fruit man. We live in the same house, so I think he has a stash of fruit in every single room.
He does love fruit.
Man,
Anytime you need fruit, Whitfield's got it.
Like I'll be looking for like my pots or pans, and I'll like find like a little orange there or something. I'll be making coffee, and there's like an apple beside it. I'm like, yep, this is Wits.
What's your favorite fruit then? I gotta find out.
Oh man, probably I gotta say an orange.
All right, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, Coach, is that everybody? Have you got everybody up here tonight?
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
That's the whole group.
So this Saturday, final regular season football game against Finley. I know your kids have been working hard all week, and just give us a couple of words to describe what our fans are going to see when the Dragons take the field Saturday.
Same as every week.
That's
Go
right.
play hard, go play smart, and we're going to come out and play together, play the Dragon way.
12 o'clock noon starts. You can catch the radio broadcast at tudragonradio.com, FM 100.9, and there'll be a video broadcast provided by Finley that you can catch on the Great Midwest website and the Great Midwest Digital Network on the app. So, Coach, next week, we can't do a show. We have a basketball game on Wednesday night. We got to cover here. Tiffany University men's basketball will be at home. But it's a crazy time right now. Fall sports and winter sports colliding. Real busy time on campus, but it's a lot of fun to be on campus. You guys, fall sports are wrapping up. We got men's soccer in the conference tournament. Women's volleyball is going to be hosting conference tournament play real soon. Women's golf had a great fall. It's a real fun time to be a Tiffany University Dragon, part of the athletic program right now.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I tell people all the time, and we had 103 recruits at last game, right? And my message to them is always the same: is that now's the time to be a Dragon. You know, our not just our football program, our athletic department in general is skyrocketing, having success in so many different sports. Our university, our academic stature is continuing to climb. We're introducing new academic programs.
Yep.
The community of Tiffin, right? We're bringing new jobs into Tiffin. We're building new buildings. We're building a new hotel. This is the time really where you're going to see Tiffin, the city, and Tiffin University continue to take off, and a lot of it is because of these 14, 15 guys that were here tonight, especially within our program. And so I just believe that now is as good a time as any to be a part of this thing, and I know from a football program, from a university standpoint, we're building a monster, man.
I absolutely agree with that. I'll echo what you said about the young men, because there was a point where, the university and the football team and the community, they weren't always, compatible. Not everybody got along. But I'll tell you what, I talk to people in the community nowadays, and they ask me about working with you guys. First thing they talk about is the character of your young men, how kind they are, how giving they are of their time, and how accepting they are of the people around here. So you're right. These guys and the guys that are coming up behind them they can't do much wrong in my books because the community and the Tiffin University football program are really embracing each other, and it's a lot of fun to see. I'm from Tiffin, and I've seen it for a long, long time, and it's a lot of fun to see everybody coming together, and it's because of the quality of young men you guys are bringing in here. So I thank you, and I thank all of you guys for being a part of that.
That's awesome. Thank you guys. We had another great season of that. We got more.
I can't believe it's almost done.
We'll take a break next week.
We'll take a break. All right, that'll do it for our program tonight. I'd like to thank all of our seniors who came on the program tonight. Don't forget it, because as we said, 12 noon start, final regular season game this coming Saturday as the Dragons head 27 miles to the west to take on Finley. He's Coach Cris Reisert. I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons. This has been the Tiffin Dragon Football Radio Show. Bye-bye, everybody.